Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's another Friday with Dannphan. This has been overall good week, or at least better than last week. Oh my god. I didn't stream last week, so you guys don't really know of the tale. But I ended up getting kind of sick from like the weirdest thing that you wouldn't expect to get sick from. I've already told like multiple people about it because it's like kind of interesting that this can even get you sick. I'm just realizing I left my water. Of course I did. It relates to what I'm talking about too. I got sick from drinking too much alkaline water, of all things. For a lot of people, like alkaline water, they see it as like a kind of health drink. It's just water, right? But different pH levels. So some people think, oh, that's better for your body. And Adam almost strictly drinks nothing but alkaline water. I ran out of like regular water bottles, so I just started drinking his water bottles because, you know, it's water. It's normal water. What could possibly go wrong? Well, as it turns out, a lot. So I've drank an alkaline water before, and sometimes it would make me lose my appetite, which is something that's kind of common. But this time, I drank like so much of it, lost my appetite, but you know, there was still no other water to drink, so I kept on drinking it. And then I actually did get like super sick. Like actually losing sleep, gagging over the toilet and everything. It was awful. And I'm still not completely back to normal. I mean, I can eat again, so that's good. I'm slowly gaining my energy back, but I'm still kind of foggy-headed, and I'm still kind of not finishing a full meal. It's like I'm eating like maybe half of what I would normally eat, but still able to eat, and that's the important thing. We covered all our bases in that regard, so that was fun. But yeah, I guess it's a good thing that now I am at least recovering from that ailment that I had last week. Yeah, sick like a food poisoning, not food poisoning. That's the weird part, is that it's from water of all things. It's from alkaline water, which a lot of people think of like, ooh, healthy water, but not for everybody. So apparently the thing is, when it like, there's like a couple different things, right? It fills up like your stomach, so you have less stomach acid, which can cause problems. And additionally, like just changing the pH levels in your blood can cause this whole domino falling effect with your body. I didn't know any of this. I mean, I sort of knew about like the losing appetite thing. I didn't know that I would actually get physically sick or have trouble sleeping or, you know, being dizzy and everything. Yeah, exactly. Recovering alkaliholic. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I did hear about the Gwyneth Paltrow things. She has the lemon in it, which changes the pH level back to normal, which people pointed out was very funny. Yeah. And I have 1 glass of alkaline water in the evenings. I'll keep to just that no more. Well, Adam has nothing but alkaline water. He's had nothing like this. So, I guess for some people it's fine to just drink nothing but alkaline water, but apparently for me it's not. I'm this delicate little flower that's crumbling apart from drinking water. It's so funny to think about, of all things. But I don't know, maybe there's some other specific reasons for it that makes my reaction to it different than Adam's reaction to it. But it's very funny for sure. I just joined. Did you get sick? Yeah, I was kind of sick last week from drinking too much alkaline water, and we were just talking about how very goofy that is to get sick from drinking water. But yeah. Your situation reminds me of when I caught a severe pneumonia back in 2017, put me in the hospital for a week, and one half kept me home for nearly a month afterwards. Oh my gosh, that's some serious business. Yeah, we learn something new every day. As we have locally is reverse osmosis and the rare spring source. You know, that's interesting. Adam was thinking about of doing like one of those reverse osmosis filters, installing that. I don't think that'll cause any problems though, like the alkaline water did. But yeah, probably something going off balance. I think so. I think it's like a whole mess of things, I guess. But the important thing now is I have regular water. I've been drinking that. That's part of the reason why I was laughing, because I forgot to bring up my other water. Even though the first topic of conversation that I wanted to mention was entirely water related. Maybe I have some over by the desk over there. Let me get up and I will come back in like 2 seconds. All right. I did have some water over on the desk. This Fiji water. This is supposed to be fancy water. I mean, naturally, Adam hears that I'm sick from drinking the alkaline, so he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out. I'll get you the best water." So he gets me like a whole thing of Fiji water. He's very sweet. Great reminder for everyone watching to drink lots of fluids and be careful about drinking certain fluids. To be fair, if you personally drink a lot of alkaline water and you don't notice that you've lost your appetite or anything like that, you're probably fine, because it doesn't bother Adam at all. But like, I've consistently like lost my appetite when drinking too much of it. And it's really bad, to the point where I'm like trying to force myself to eat and I'm like gagging while I'm eating. I just can't keep it down, you know? So that's a little bit more serious, especially when you're not digesting it properly and you have no energy throughout the day. Ugh, man, it's the worst, because I'd really like to focus on working on my current comics. I also have like a collaboration project coming up maybe next month if everything goes smoothly. I'm holding off on announcing it until I'm 100% sure that everyone's on board. But it looks like everything's going through. So I'm excited about that project. That's going to be my project for the year. And then I guess next year we can focus on another Reaper book announcement. I think that'll be super fun, for sure. Oh my gosh. Thank you for bringing this up, because I actually wanted to talk a bit about the new Avatar cartoons that were announced and coming out soon. So besides the Avatar live action, which I did hear people talking shit on the live action season 2 of the Netflix Avatar. That was very funny. I'm not watching the live action Netflix Avatar. You know, if you enjoy it, that's fine, but it does look very different than the Avatar that I'm used to. Surprisingly, I actually found myself interested in something new that was Avatar related, and I did not think it would happen. I did not think it was possible. But I looked at that new Avatar Aang movie, which has a terrible title, by the way. It's literally just Avatar Aang the Last Airbender, almost synonymous with the original title of the series, which is Avatar the Last Airbender. They just added Aang in there. Good title. Irregardless of the title, the trailer actually looked very good. I actually, I might be falling for the nostalgia bait. I own up to that. Maybe I am falling for the nostalgia bait. But I saw like the characters that I remember from the original series, and I was like, oh, there they are. They're all grown up, and they're doing like cool bending kung fu. Yay! I'm usually not a sucker for the nostalgia bait, but I saw that and I was like, that maybe good movie, maybe. But then I heard Aang say, "I'm Aang, and I'm the last Avatar, or I'm the last Airbender." And I kind of sighed, like, this is the dialogue we're working with. But I don't know, maybe they're just having him say that for the trailer, as if anyone who's never seen the original Avatar series is going to be checking out this one. But no, it looked interesting. It did. It had my attention. And then I later on looked at the one that you mentioned. What was it? New Havens? Seven Havens. I was close. Yes. I looked at that trailer next. That one does not feel like Avatar at all. It kind of feels like a completely new series. Like the vibes are completely different. However, it didn't look bad per se. I'm curious how they're going to connect it to the other Avatar shows. Because I know that it's supposed to be like apocalyptic. The ongoing theory is that, what was revealed about it is that Korra fucked everything up. And now everybody hates the Avatar or something like that. And, it is a little bit maybe meta because there are a lot of fans who do not like Korra as a character. Completely understandable why. She's not the best of the bunch, especially when compared to the OG, who was a pretty well put together character. But yeah, I don't know how that I can't imagine that they're actually gonna make Korra evil though. I can't imagine that they're gonna do that. Even if she actually did cause the apocalypse, they're still gonna write it in there that somehow it's not really her fault. Because that's what Legend of Korra did all the time, where she would cause a problem, but then they would flip it and be like, well, it's not really your fault. When you think about it, it's more like society's fault. But you know what I mean. I can't imagine they're actually going to go forward with making Korra evil. But yeah, looks way too anime for me. Fair. It does look a lot more, I guess I would compare it to something like Powerhousey. I don't actually know who the studio is behind making the new Avatar movie. It's so close to the original title of the series that like it's hard to even find the right one. Okay, what studio is doing it? Does it say? It's got to say somewhere. I know that it's one of the ones releasing on Paramount Plus. Apparently, it's having a very, very limited theater release, which is kind of surprising. I would expect them to have a lot more faith that people would be going out to see this in theaters. Since if the Netflix Avatar has so much backlash, maybe they think it damaged the brand to some extent. I don't really know. Why can't I find the animation? Okay. Flying Bark Productions. Studio Mirror in South Korea. Okay. So, okay. Kind of like a back and forth with these two animation studios, it sounds like. That's kind of what the original series did, where they had some animation done here and then some done from Korean animators. This one, it's not, none of it is going to be done here, of course. It's Australia and then South Korea, but whatevers. I think it looks good. I'm not going to really hate on it that much. Granted, you know, it's not like a trailer can represent the entire movie. We'll see. We'll see. I think I might actually check it out, though, which is more than I can say about a lot of other Avatar-related stuff. Like, I did not finish Korra. I heard about how it ended through other people because I could not finish it. I really didn't like it. Just brutally honest with you guys, I really didn't like it. But that's all fine. It's all well and good. I always wanted to see more of the original characters from Avatar. And I know that people say, oh, well, they had a comic book series that continued the adventures with the characters, and you could have read that, Dannphan. Isn't comics your whole thing, Dannphan? Ah. But I also heard mixed reviews from the comics. Some people said that they were weird. Some people said that it was like not 100% Avatar feeling. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I feel like I can give this movie a shot. At least it's not as much of an investment as watching an entirely new series. Like, when it comes to Seven Havens, you're really banking on it being good when you're watching like multiple episodes of this thing. But yeah, you know. Seven Havens seems interesting. Not sure how well the story goes, considering how some of the other Avatar-related things turned out post-original show. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, Korra is going to be revealed to have done something heroic that people misunderstood or something. I bet. Oh, I bet. Yes, dropped Legend of Korra halfway through season 2 because everyone was being an idiot. Yep, that's kind of how I feel, for sure. It looks interesting visually. Not quite there yet in terms of enthusiasm. Fair. That's fair. Let's see. Have you seen Pinky Machine Studios' Legend of Korra rewrite? She is telling it as sort of an audiobook through illustrations sprinkled throughout. Highly recommend. That's interesting. No, I didn't hear about anyone doing a rewrite. It's like a video audiobook, like it has pictures accompanying it. I know, I would still listen to it if it was just a regular audiobook. I just don't know if there's like, because it's called Pinky Machine Studios, I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's like a whole production. Too much steampunk for me, that they also had female lead this time, so I guess go broke. Yes, this Foyd. Ew, gross women. Am I right, guys? You know something else funny regarding like animation news? There are a couple different stories. One involved, this just popped up on my timeline randomly on X, so I don't know that much about it, right? But apparently people were mad at the voice actress for Pearl from Steven Universe. Because it turns out that, I don't know why, but some people were like just searching through people that she follows, and they found that she followed some conservative figures. She followed some, liberal figures too, but that doesn't matter, right? Because she followed some conservative ones. And that's a no-no, right? That's a no-no. So now everyone's like kind of memeing on it by saying that Pearl is Republican, which is a little bit goofy. But yeah, some people are really, really mad though. And it's kind of a bit shocking to see that anyone, I mean, I guess maybe it's not that shocking. In modern day, guilt by association, yeah, pretty much, just like judging her based on who she follows. And she's very Christian if you look at her account. She mostly does Christ posting, family posting, very positive type of content. It's never really political and it's never really controversial. And the types of people she was following that I guess people were upset by were people like Brett Cooper, who also does a bunch of Christ posting and family posting and, similar content, honestly. So it doesn't really, I mean, I'm not saying that there isn't a connection. It's very possible that maybe she's right-leaning or right-friendly. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I've yet to see anyone that she's following that's genuinely very controversial or genuinely like that much of a surefire, yes, this voice actress is totally based, right? It's not like she's following someone crazy like Gypsy Crusader. She's following like Brett Cooper, Gina Carano was another one. But like, who cares? I don't know. I feel like maybe people are overreacting. But even in their overreactions, there's a little bit of comedy there with all the people. They're kind of trolling, right? Where they're posting like fan art of Pearl and wearing MAGA hats and Trump and everything. It's very, very goofy stuff. It actually reminds me of when Amazing Digital Circus ended the way that it did. And then there were a bunch of like right-leaning accounts who apparently were watching the series and enjoying it up until the way that it ended. And so they were also like posting a bunch of art and memes with one of the characters saying that they're like a groiper. It was very, very goofy stuff. But Steven Universe fandom went off the rails years ago, though. Oh, totally. Yeah. No, there's a lot of really bad stories from the Steven Universe fandom. Unfortunately. Because I think it's kind of ironic, right? Because I think a lot of people get into Steven Universe because they see it as like a wholesome chunga show, right? But then somehow people within the fandom itself don't turn out to be very wholesome. Rather, instead, they're like really, I don't know, prickly, very, very defensive all the time, I guess. Kind of willing to attack people. And I think the worst case was when on Tumblr, the Steven Universe fandom bullied that one girl into committing suicide. That was really upsetting, honestly. And that was like the main moment where I was like, oh, I gotta get away from these people. Like, I was all in on watching Steven Universe and giving it a chance and seeing where the show went, but, like, I did not want to be associated with the fandom at all after that story. That was really upsetting. But yeah. Yeah, it's true. Separate the art from the artist. I don't even think she was following anyone controversial. That's the funny thing about this. I think people are overreacting. I guess speaking of following controversial figures, there was this one story someone posted in the anime discussion that was kind of interesting. It's a Vic Mignogna, I guess, story, right? It's been a while since we heard about this. It came from thegamer.com. I'll do a screen share. I haven't been screen sharing at all this whole time. I really should have been pulling up some stuff, right? Give you some visuals to accompany these stories. So there was supposed to be kind of a voice actor event at one of the conventions. Anime Matsuri, yes, that's going on right now, right? I think Vaughn is going to Anime Matsuri. I think he's there right now, perhaps, unless I'm confusing two completely different conventions, but I don't think I am. So the voice of Edward Elric, obviously, Vic Mignogna, was going to be there along with the voice of, what was it, Alphonse? Yeah, Alphonse, that was his name. And Alphonse voice actor, let's see, Maxie Whitehead Gold. Oh, with two O's, Gold. Yes, okay. That's fine. I'm not hating. They canceled on the convention. It doesn't seem like it's necessarily just because Vic Mignogna was going to be there. They claimed it was because of the advertising, with it being a reunion between them two. The actual words that she used here was, my participation was subject to a signed agreement with specific terms. Terms have been violated. The convention has promoted my appearance as a reunion with Vic Mignogna, which is false and was explicitly prohibited under my contract. I notified the convention immediately, requested that the promotional materials be removed. Despite those requests, the promotional posts have remained public. Because the convention has failed to honor the terms of our agreement, I can't participate in the event. So it seems like she's more so not upset that Vic Mignogna was going to be there in the first place, but the idea that they would, this promotion of it being a reunion between the two of them, because I guess it makes it seem like she is associating herself with Vic Mignogna, which is obviously maybe a little bit sketchy because he became such a controversial figure after the whole, the cancellation, right, when he got fired from Funimation. But yeah, maybe she thinks that it'll help protect her image in the long run. I don't really think people would have cared that much, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's right. Maybe people are just kind of that petty. Maybe people are still like kind of upset about stuff over that. But yeah. Let's see, I think the reason why is because people who have no positive qualities in their lives attach themselves to shows like Steven Universe to fill the void in themselves, but they don't change. I don't know. To some extent, I think everyone kind of needs a positive show or something, some sort of media in their lives that is positive and is going to help motivate them. But I don't know. I think maybe allowing fans to get together online was just a mistake. There are a lot of fandoms that turn out to be toxic, and I'm not really sure if I can pinpoint the exact reasons for what causes it. It's like the same thing with My Hero Academia fandom. Granted, it's not the entire My Hero Academia fandom, but there are, like, you know, subsections of that fandom that are really rabid and just, like, nasty people. And then there are the normies, and the normies are the best part of that fandom. The people who are like, oh, this is my first anime I've ever watched ever. Now I like anime because of My Hero Academia. Those are the best people in that fandom. But then there's like the other people who are a little bit crazy. Not gonna lie, just a little bit crazy, just a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people watching these cartoons nowadays are 20 to 30-something-year-olds forming parasocial relationships with these fictional characters, their VAs, and their writers. It does kind of feel like that, doesn't it? I guess, like, it's always kind of been the case that people look up to celebrities as though they know them when they really don't. Because, like, when people found out, like, the Pearl voice actress is following conservative people, not a big deal, first of all. Doesn't really reveal anything about her politics, but the fact that they then reacted to that by being like, this means Pearl is conservative, as though they are the same person, when really she's just an actress playing a character, it does kind of say a lot, right? The fact that they felt so betrayed because of her association with the character. You know. But yeah. Yeah, it seems kind of dumb to bail out just because of that, especially since the whole Vic thing still hasn't had any solid evidence against him. Yeah, the thing with Vic, from how I understand it, the reason why Funimation was still allowed to fire him despite, like, other employees maybe making false claims about him is because that's, like, not ultimately the reason why they fired him. He apparently did have, like, an affair with someone. What was it? It was like an assistant or something. I don't know. But there were, like, other reasons for them to let Vic go. It's just like, there, you know, maybe perhaps some people took advantage of the fact that there was heat on him to claim that they were also a victim when maybe they weren't. There's certainly some skepticism to be thrown there. Let's see, Adam in the chat. I think the problem with Steven Universe fandom is simply that it's all weird freaks. Okay, fair point. There we go. Pearl from Rare SpongeBob. Oh, we were talking about Steven Universe. It's one of the main characters, Pearl. My Hero Academia fan here. Even in that shipping scene, I can definitely agree that a lot of them are crazy and or annoying. I'm just there to have fun. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. You know. I remember debating a few from the Kick Vic crowd. My stupid autocorrect ruined me that day. Yeah. No. It's a weird situation for sure. But I think people tend to blow it out of proportion, maybe. By, like, pretending, oh, he was always a creep. He like made fans uncomfortable all the time. And then when I actually did research to see if any people actually had a problem with this guy, I couldn't find anything. But, you know, everyone still claims, oh, it was like an open secret that everyone hated him. And it's like, well, was it really? I don't know. He seemed surprised when he actually got cancer. He seemed very shocked. So, yeah, celebrities could be very terrible people. It's true. Yeah. You never really know someone until you really know someone. It's amazing how much of a difference it makes meeting someone in person versus just watching them through a screen. Because how people act when you meet them in person is just completely different. And it reveals so much more about their character. Even through YouTube. And YouTube is supposed to be like a little bit more genuine, you know? Like I don't read off of a script when I'm doing these live streams or anything. Or I'm not really necessarily trying to play a character or anything. But I am trying to speak more. I don't have to like directly respond to anybody in the moment, even though it's live, right? I can still like kind of take my time to read a comment and think it over and everything. Sorry, I occasionally just randomly get the hiccups. More water will help with that. Let's see, I'm more surprised that people are surprised about the Pearl VA debacle. The Steven Universe fan base is exactly the type to freak out about that kind of thing. Yeah, it's really not that big of a deal, honestly. I mean, it's a little bit entertaining to see like people online acting like it's the biggest deal ever. I do have like maybe perhaps a slight bit of a chuckle at that appearing on my timeline, but in reality, it's not really that. It's not that extreme. But yeah. See what Crunchyroll is doing to their shop and how they're... Oh, yes, I did hear about this. The Crunchyroll, now their shop is going to be exclusive to subscribers, right? That's what I heard. I don't know. What are they doing with the Blu-rays? Are they just getting rid of them entirely or something? I did hear about their shop is going to be exclusive to subscribers, and it's supposed to like maybe make you feel like the subscription is worth more because you get like exclusive access to the shop, right? But it figures that they would buy out Right Stuff, merge like whatever they had there onto the Crunchyroll store, and now you have to pay just to get into the store. But to be fair, like the Crunchyroll original merch that is actually on the Crunchyroll store is not very good. If I'm just being honest, like the merch on there that's original to Crunchyroll that you can't get anywhere else, the exclusive Crunchyroll merch, it's not very good. You can get a lot of stuff from the Crunchyroll store other places. Usually they're at a better price even. I would recommend you check it out if you do. But then I remember me and Adam were talking about this before, so I'm going to be a little bit repetitive. But I remember looking for Freerun t-shirts at one point on the Crunchyroll store because I wanted some Freerun merch. I was feeling it for the Freerun, right? And their shirts are so low effort. Graphic design is my passion. Very, like, it's just a screen cap of the anime on a shirt in a square. Or like a panel from the manga square. Like no design effort put into these t-shirts whatsoever. How are they even printing it on the shirt? For all I know, they're just like fucking doing it the cheapest way possible. I do have one Freerun shirt, and it is designed very nicely. I got it at the mall. I can't remember the exact store. I think it was FYE, but that is a very good Freerun shirt because it's designed well, and it's designed to actually be a shirt. It's not just some square screen cap of whatever. So stupid. Manga Plus was doing the same thing recently. They introduced this new thing to their app where you can take a page from the manga that you're reading and order a t-shirt of like that page or of that panel or whatever. And it's kind of weird. Like, of all ways for Manga Plus to be looking to make more money, it's a very weird place to start. But Manga Plus has been trying all kinds of different things to try to make money, right? There was that weird thing where they were like, watch an ad to get points and then you tip points to the creators. That was confusing. That was very strange. That didn't last very long either. That was just like a few months they tried that out, and then they were like, fuck it. Take it off, it doesn't work. And now they're trying to do the t-shirt thing, where you can take a manga page and order a t-shirt with that manga page on it. Graphic design is my patch. I mean, I guess they figure if the stores can get away with just selling some low-effort screen caps on a t-shirt, then they can definitely get away with doing it. It doesn't take much effort, so whatever. Oh man, I should order one of those. I'm a little bit tempted now. Like, I gotta order one of those Manga Plus t-shirts to see how it is. Like, I don't know, maybe it's the best t-shirt ever. I gotta look through all my Manga Plus chapters, right? I gotta pick the perfect manga page, order the t-shirt, that I can make that into a whole video. I am the one person who would order the Manga Plus t-shirt. Oh my god. Because I don't know who would actually buy it, or if anyone has actually bought it. I can't imagine that it's making that much money, but I would be really shocked to hear that a lot of people were actually doing it, and that they were making their money's worth on the t-shirt idea. It's a funny idea. I kind of imagine like all the Manga Plus people, they're just like in a room full of like crazy people, and they're just shooting out ideas out the hip for how to make money on this app. And they're being innovative. I can say that much. This is innovative. It is different. But it is also very weird. Focusing less on Blu-rays and more on collectibles and merch. I see. Well, I assumed that they were doing that anyways, but yeah, there's definitely some anime that I would like to own on DVD. Maybe not Blu-ray exactly, but at least on DVD. Because you can't trust digital media, you know? You really can't. The only digital media that you can kind of trust is piracy. But you don't always want to have to pirate anime. You want a way to actually own it forever and actually purchase it in order to own it, right? But yeah, they make it difficult. But yeah. Adam was saying something. I kind of assume the point of making Crunchyroll store exclusive is to stop people from making fun of how bad the merch is. I guess you increase the value of the merch by making it more exclusive. It is very silly. I mean, if they're counting on less people to shop at the store, and you are, when you make a store exclusive to only the subscribers, you're going to have less people shopping from there. That's just a given. I also assume maybe this is an excuse to limit what is available on the store. So you'll see less stuff. You'll probably see pre-orders a lot. Like, they'll be offering pre-orders, and you'll only be able to pre-order on the Crunchyroll site for like certain merch, and then that's how they try to pressure you into getting the subscription so that you can get access to pre-order the super special merch, right? But even a lot of the pre-orders that are offered on the Crunchyroll store, I notice on other websites that are available. So they would have to actually have like exclusive merch that they would want to advertise for pre-orders. But yeah, I definitely see them not including as much content on their store if they're banking on only subscribers being able to use the store in the first place. And not sure if that many new anime gets a DVD release. Some anime distributors in the US have moved to selling anime only on Blu-ray. I mean, it doesn't matter either way. I guess I don't really see Blu-ray as being that valuable as a whole. But I guess some people just view it as Blu-ray is better, so we should only do Blu-ray from now on. Once again, it just reminds me of the whole 2D versus 3D animation all over again, where they're just like, we don't need 2D animation. It's not popular anymore. We're only going to do 3D from now on. And then, like, less than 10 years later, 2D animation is, like, the biggest thing ever, and they just completely destroyed their market for no reason at all. I still think about that. I still think about that all the time, how the United States completely fucked themselves over by trying to remove 2D animation. Completely remove 2D animation from the industry that's local here. And then anime explodes, and all of a sudden they're fucked. I still think about it. It still haunts me to this day. It was the biggest mistake that our country has ever made. Okay, maybe not the biggest, but it's up there. It's up there. Yep. I know Discotek Media is selling everything on Blu-ray, including anime that don't have HD versions. Some anime are worth getting on DVD sometimes. Varies on the show or movie, though. That and features. True. Yeah. I would love to own all of Freeman on DVD. I do have all of the soundtrack. That is nice. I love the soundtrack. It's very epic, very cool. What other anime would I like to own on DVD? It's a good question, honestly. Some of them I already kind of own. I see it like just available at these thrift stores, or sometimes at conventions. There will be like a person selling old anime DVDs. That's pretty cool. That gets me very excited, especially because sometimes you'll find some that you've never even heard of before. It's like, what the heck is this? I need to see it. But yeah. Man, I still have to do that reviewing anime from thrift store video. I had 3 more that I did watch, but now I have to rewatch them because it's been too long and I didn't do the video. I'm so guilty. I'm guilty and I'm dumb. I'm so dumb, guys. Why didn't I record that video months ago when the animes were still fresh in my brain? What a mistake. But yeah, totally. Anyways. So, what else? Am I missing anything? Is there any other news that broke out this week? I feel like I went over almost everything. I went over the Avatar, went over the Pearl controversy, if you can call it that, the Vic Mignogna thing. What's in the reaction request on Discord? Well, there's a couple videos. I don't know if I can show all of these because some of them are videos from like movies or copyrighted stuff. It's so difficult because I do think it would be fun on these live streams to react to new trailers or stuff like that. But I've been so wronged from certain movie trailers, even if they're just like playing in the background, like when I'm just scrolling through Twitter and there's like a Twitter ad playing the video, I'll get copyrighted from that. And it's so stupid. It's so annoying. But you know, superheroes are our modern mythology. That's a funny way of looking at it. I don't know if I really see it like that, but it's funny. The most deeply Christian TV episode I've ever seen. That looks interesting. I would totally watch that. I wanted to do a video talking about like Christian anime because I've noticed a couple of like weeb channels that are Christian, and they like kind of focus on talking about anime and also Christianity, or talking about anime that is explicitly like supposed to be Christian or pro-Christian. It's an interesting perspective, so I wanted to explore it a little bit more. I did that one video where I talked about, what was it called? Finding God in Anime, the book series. That that was not the best, but it was still kind of interesting to hear the perspective on like finding Christian themes in all these different anime that they were watching. But most of them were kind of a stretch, right? I was like, I don't know about this one. And one of the videos that was recommended on my YouTube homepage recently was Oshi no Ko being Christian and saying that, oh yeah, there's Christian themes in Oshi no Ko. And I'm looking at that like, you sure about that? Are you sure that this is the one? This is the one that you want representing Christianity? I'm not sure about this one, Chief. I don't know if you really want to pick that one of all the other ones. I don't know if that's the one you want to pick. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. I'm not saying that the only notable thing about Oshi no Ko is the incest, okay? Obviously, other things happened in the series before the eventual incest. But I'm still, a lot of people know it for the incest. Even though, yes, other stuff happens in the series, still people know it for the incest part. So maybe that's not what I would choose to make a video about if I was talking about Christian themes in anime. Personally, that wouldn't be my top pick. But it's a little bit fun. I'm kind of morbidly curious to watch their video just to see what they say, if they even mention the incest, if they even know about the incest. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're an anime only person, and maybe the anime has not caught up to the manga yet. I don't know. They might be very surprised. Maybe there's a pinned comment on the video, maybe, where he's like, "Oh my god, I didn't know. I'm sorry." Don't know. Chainsmoker Cat is shocking people by how gross having an addiction is, really challenging the I can fix her crowd when the girl smokes like a chimney. Yeah, I did hear about some people saying that Chainsmoker Cat was too gross. I haven't watched it though, so I don't really know what they're referring to exactly. I don't like gross out humor. I can admit that. It does really turn me off when it comes to anime or really any media. If it's too gross, I can't consume it. Especially when it makes me, like, my stomach turn. Like that queasy feeling that you get sometimes. There was this one Crunchyroll original anime. It was based on a manga. It wasn't one of those fake anime, or it wasn't High Guardian Spice, right? But I can't remember what it was called. I wish I could. Maybe I can look it up. It was like some sort of doctor something, right? It was some weird doctor who cured supernatural illnesses. Can I even remember it? Not all Crunchyroll originals were bad, by the way. Just to be clear. Some of them definitely were, right? But some of them were fine. Where is... Oh, yes. Dr. Ramune, Mysterious Disease Specialist. That was it. That was it. That show was not bad, per se. But I only watched a few episodes of it because it was really gross. It really made my stomach turn because a lot of these diseases that he was curing were like very icky and usually involved like food like growing out of people, and it was genuinely a little bit disturbing for me. I can't speak for everybody. Not everyone will have that experience, but for me it was too much. I couldn't look at it. It was too much. But the writing was like kind of fine. It was kind of fine, right? It was all right. Yeah, I'm just looking at the list of Crunchyroll originals now. Some of them were really bad, obviously. High Guardian Spice was like the main thing that people think of when they think of Crunchyroll originals. Or X-Arm. X-Arm was also like shocking. Genuinely shocking. But Tonikawa, Over the Moon for You, that was good. It's not mind-blowing, but it is kind of just one of those like easy slice of lifey, slightly supernaturally type of shows, and it was fine. I guess I would describe it as more like background noise anime. But sometimes things do happen, sometimes. So, there's that. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I mean, like, none were quite maybe as bad as X-Arm or as High Guardian Spice. But some were bad in their own right, I suppose, for different reasons. While not an anime, K-pop Demon Hunters has Christian themes. I've also heard that argument, which apparently was not really the intention of the writer behind K-pop Demon Hunters. It just kind of ended up that way. But, yeah. Oh, it's bad. She digs through trash to get cigarette butts, lives in literal trash amongst actual drug addicts and cats. There's even a scene where she puts a cig out on a turd. Well, that's better than pulling the cig out from a turd. But yeah, gross, but not really for humor, more like actual slob and addict being actually slobby and addicted. Okay, well, so they're doing it for a purpose, for the purpose of the story, so that it gets the point across, and that's kind of fine. I think the worst is when like the gross out humor is just like for shock value, I guess. Yeah, I mean, really anything that does something disturbing just for the sake of shock value and not because it adds to the story at all, that makes me upset. But yeah, irregardless, of course, I will get maybe queasy looking at gross stuff in anime. I didn't hear about this one. There was a weird Pinocchio anime where they kept leaning into why can't I say this word? Messianic imagery. I don't know, just something about the word. It like made my brain stop. You'd get crucified and stuff. Oh, that is weird. That is super weird. X-Arm was a glorious train wreck for me. Like watching The Room. Totally. We watched it with some of our friends and we had a good time. Or we watched the first episode. We didn't go like super far into it. But yeah, we had a good time at the very least, like laughing at it, just because of the animation and everything. Very bizarre. But already you've seen all the memes, right? Only Crunchyroll original I could think of that was interesting was a girl that was reincarnated as a spider. That's the one that you thought was interesting? At least the ones I could think of off the top of my head. That was maybe fun. I mean, that was like maybe what I would expect from an isekai anime. My expectations for isekai animes were already so low that I wasn't like shocked or appalled when I watched Reincarnated as a Spider. But I didn't like it. I did. It's not as though I really liked it or anything. I watched one episode and I was like, it's kind of what I expect from an isekai. The creator of K-pop Demon Hunters is actually a practicing Christian. That's the first I've heard of that. Demon Hunters. I mean, granted, I guess the percentage of Koreans who are Christian is like higher than average when compared to other countries. What is it, like 30% or something? Do the Christian thing. Who is the creator exactly? Are you talking about Maggie Kang? Is that the one? I guess Maggie Kang. I kind of want to hear more about it, honestly. Just out of pure curiosity. Oh, she was originally a storyboard artist? That's pretty fun. Cool. Born in Seoul, classic for South Korea, right? And moved to Toronto, Canada. All right. Recruited into DreamWorks Animation, served as a story artist for Puss in Boots 2011, Rise of the Guardians, Kung Fu Panda 3. Very cool. Story artist. Did they mean storyboard artist? Just real credit given to screenwriters. Interesting. Okay, she went straight into writing. That's neat. Also worked on Kippo. That's pretty cool. I don't see anything about the Christian, but maybe it's just omitted from the Wikipedia. Maybe people don't know about it. I don't know. It's interesting though. It looks like she has a lot of different awards that she won, which is pretty cool. Right? Moving up the ladder and whatnot. People really liked the movie. It was a little bit more difficult for me because I wasn't really a big fan of K-pop, and that's kind of the whole thing. Like, you're supposed to like K-pop if you're watching the movie. But oh, we're actually past the hour at this point. We're 6 minutes over. I got distracted by good conversations. You got me. You guys got me again. But no, thanks for hanging out on another fantastic Friday with Dannphan. Next week, coming up, we have the Common America review. That's right. I read Common America. And finally, we have a review coming out for at least the 2 omnibus volumes that I read. But there are some that aren't, there's some catching up I still need to do. But I'm excited about posting that review. And after that, it's the Iceman Omega review, which, asterisk next to that, because it was re-released as Iceman Omega, and I thought it would be shorter to just call it a live reaction of that, but really it was Marvel's Voices Infinity, and then they repackaged it into Iceman Omega. You'll understand when you see us reading it, I guess, though. But anyways, thanks for joining me on another great Friday. Fantastic, in fact. I'll keep you guys updated as far as status of videos and stuff of that nature. Until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend and be careful of drinking alkaline water. Because as it turns out, if you're a delicate little flower like me, it will make you very sick. So, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.